Wendy, what do the Mavs have to do to put the right pieces around Luka?
This is a tough one because the Mavericks have the 26th highest payroll, or the 4th lowest payroll in the NBA this year. They did this really without spending a lot of money. That's good news. The bad news is that it's going to cost them a heck of a lot more for this exact same team next year. Okay, so you're going to have Luka getting this is not a typo, he's getting a $27 million raise next season. Dorian Finney-Smith, excellent role player, but he is tripling his salary next season. And Jalen Brunson, he hasn't signed yet, but he's making $1.8 million, and it is would not be unusual if he got more than $20 million, 10 times his salary this year. And so the problem you have if you're the Mavericks, even if you keep Jalen Brunson, is you're going to have a team that is now very expensive that is the same roster. So how do you improve that roster when you've already spent the money? That is what Nico Harrison and Mark Cuban are going to work on throughout the summer. Now, I can sit here and throw out some names. I can say that DeAndre Ayton would be terrific, and he's a free agent, and maybe they could swing something. I could say they could call Utah and try to make an offer for Rudy Gobert, but I am just saying that to cover my bases. They are going to have a functionally challenging process to try to get, especially a big man, onto this team. So good news for the Mavericks. They did overachieve. Luka looks great. Great future. Definitely buying their stock. Bad news, getting to the next level, getting to where the Warriors are right now, that's going to be really hard on their front office. So I'm going to wait and watch.
No knock against the Mavs front office, but Bob Myers, like Golden State is special, and even they kind of lucked up because Steph was so hurt early in his career that he had a very team-friendly deal, and that helped them put pieces around. With what Wendy just said, Pat, do they have enough internally to build this into a championship team, or are they going to have to make moves?
I wouldn't say championship, but they can compete. In order to be a championship team, you have to go spend money. They have the perfect owner for it. You got to open up that bag.
But if you're up against the salary cap, what can you do?
You got to spend more money. That's just how it goes. Golden State.
No, I mean, like there are rules. Like you can grandfather in. If you have Klay Thompson, you can give him a max contract and bust through the cap. It's a soft cap. But if you're already at the cap, you can't bring in a free agent, right? Like you
go through trade. I mean, I'm not really educated, so I don't want to be ignorant on TV and just saying anything. But the teams who pay the money, who pay players, are usually the most successful teams.
Wendy, are there ways that can the Mavs manipulate the system in a way to bring in external talent? Is Brunson a potential trade chit, or does he figure for sure into the future?
Well, let's look at what the Boston Celtics did. Okay, so a year ago they had a good team, not a great team, they had a good team. They were able to use very shrewd trades. They went out and got Al Horford, who makes a max salary, but they were able to flip Kemba Walker in a first-round pick. Then at midseason, they flipped a first-round pick and a future pick swap to get Derek White. Those two trades have completely transformed the depth on their roster, and they are right now below the luxury tax. Now, if they win the title, there's some bonuses that have to get paid out, and they'll go into the tax, and I'm sure they'll be happy to pay it. But if you look at a team like the Celtics, they have very shrewd management that went out and found opportunities and added to the star players they already had. So it can be done. When you compare it to the Warriors, and Bev was talking about this morning on Get Up, Bev praised the Warriors' ownership. The Warriors owners went out and sold a piece of the team, and they sold a piece of the arena. They raised like $500 million to try to pay for this team. And that is how, like you look at Andrew Wiggins and they say, wow, Andrew Wiggins, what a great player to have. Most nights he's their 4th best player. Maybe some nights he's their 5th best player. He makes $33 million. Okay, so the difference between a team like the Warriors that can have, like literally, the Warriors spending like $50 million or so more this year than the Mavericks, not even including in the tax. So the fact that they were even on the same court and competitive is a statement on Luka and where Dallas is, but it's also a reality that it is not always an equal playing field. And I'll point something else out. I know Mark Cuban is going to pay going forward, but the idea that Mark Cuban spends endlessly, that's an antiquated idea. They have not been in the tax in 10 years. So this is going to be Cuban changing gears from where he's been if they do start spending more.
Makes you realize, like the Buss family, Dr. Buss and now Jeannie, when they pay that luxury tax and basketball is their business, that's really saying something, because these are not, it's not like $20 billion and it's all coming from somewhere else. Basketball is their business.
I like the hustle, though. I like the hustle from the ownership from Golden State, as Wendy pointed out. Like, that's some, You know, that's some city, Chicago, New York type of mentality, man. We can't afford it, so guess what? We go hit the trenches, we go hustle, we go flip this, we go do this, we go do that. And had the money to build a championship team, so other owners should definitely look at the blueprint of that.
Going back to your original point, whatever the cap situation, are you willing to pay the tax? Are you willing to spend the money?
Then that money for the players, we deserve it. Work our